Welcome back to Don't Gaslight Me, Jesus, the podcast where we dive into stories that are chaotic, hilarious, unhinged, and somehow impossible to put down. We're continuing our read-through of Dungeon Crawler Carl, Book 3, the Dungeon Anarchist Cookbook, and in this episode we're covering chapters 14 through 16. The crawl isn't getting any easier, the challenges are becoming even more unpredictable, and Carl and Donut continue proving that surviving the dungeon often requires equal parts strategy, luck, and complete insanity. We'll be unpacking the biggest events from these chapters, discussing the standout character moments, new twists, and the ever-evolving dungeon mechanics that keep us guessing. As always, we'll share some of our favorite scenes, discuss our crazy theories for what's ahead, and highlight the moments that had us laughing, cringing, or yelling at the book. Whether you're reading along with us for the first time or you're revisiting the adventures with us, thanks for joining us as we descend even deeper into Dungeon Crawler Carl Book 3, the Dungeon Anarchist Cookbook. This is Don't Gaslight Me, Jesus, and let's dive into chapters 14 through 16. Today with me is...
Mikey.
Data.
Tim.
You didn't say your name, Jennifer. You might want to do that.
Oh, Jennifer. Sorry. Me too.
Find the gap. It's squishy.
Why is it squishy?
Well, it's kind of like when you step on something wet when you're wearing socks.
I do know what that's like, yes.
It's
It's a
uncomfortable.
horrible feeling.
Nobody
Fair
likes
bad.
that.
The gap is uncomfortable.
And then
So
you're always like...
you better mind it.
Also, if you do that in our house, it's probably like cat vomit or
throw up.
something. So
Yep.
it's even worse.
Cat pee, cat vomit. It's a surprise always.
All right. So we did 3 chapters this time, which is, as I mentioned before, what we're going to do for the rest of the book is 3 chapters. What did you guys think of these 3 chapters?
I'd say these are the most action-packed and dangerous situation that Carl, I think, has ever been in. He's isolated. He's in imminent mortal danger for a lot of that first chapter, and oh my God, like I thought there was going to be a lot more maiming of him during that whole situation.
Probably should have been, quite honestly.
Probably should have been, because
Yeah.
I was expecting him to have to climb barehanded up the boiling boiler.
Yes.
Like, I was expecting that he was going to try the ladder was going to break, and he would just be like, oh, God damn it. And he was going to have to, like, I thought he was going to have to, like, do some kind of weird ingenuity, like, summon his gauntlet and just start punching his way up, and that doesn't work. And he's just like, you're going to have to use your bare hands. It's kind of like, I was imagining there was going to be, like, a scene, and it's hilarious because every time I remember this scene, because my memory always fills in the gaps, I always thought that they actually filmed the scene of McClane walking on glass in the original Die Hard, but it's only you show that he has to, and then it cuts away, and then it cuts back to he's already done it, and he's like pulling glass out of his foot. But
Oh, I didn't remember that either. Huh.
yeah. So yeah, unless I was watching the TV version, and that is in the actual review. I don't know. I haven't seen Die Hard in quite a long time. Get in the
It's not
comments.
Christmas yet.
Tell me if I'm wrong. But that was a harrowing experience, and the exploration bits. I didn't know how much I missed actually exploring the floor that we were on and trying to figure out how it worked, and him having to like kind of do actual dungeon crawling for a bit, and not just them trying to figure out the rail system, like him trying to figure out the actual mechanics of the floor. I found all that infinitely fascinating, and also that led to some more horror too. Like, all the trains are just being piled up in a pit somewhere, and then they just build more trains. It's like highly wasteful, and it's hilarious because it's very indicative of how awful this company is. And I'm just like, oh, that's why you're going bankrupt. Okay, you just well, we used up this train, got to throw it out and build a new one.
It is just so like, what? Why?
Eh,
Oh.
I love that he just stares at it for a second. He's just like, huh, I guess that's how they'd handle that. All right. It's like there's no surprise to it. It's just like, oh, this is where they all go.
He's
So,
not surprised by anything anymore. It's that
oh,
kind of dungeon.
yeah, there's nothing to be surprised about at this point. And I also really enjoyed the calling out of Carl like we did last time, but they actually called out Carl out loud in the book finally. And it's like, Katia never asked for you to do that. And you kind of just did it. And, even though it did work out, that does no excuse for, not telling someone what you're going to do before you do it. So, I like that they called it out. He apologized and he said, "All right, I'm gonna be better from now on." And I was just like, "Okay, this is nice. A little bit of character growth." So we got some exploration. What's up?
Although
I was about
he
to.
did not apologize.
No.
He did the
Did he
same
not?
thing. No, he did the same thing that
He
he did when
apologized
he
to Donut.
realized to Donut that he was
Yeah.
being an asshole, where he mentally is like, one day I'll apologize, but he still has not apologized to Katia.
You're right. You're right. The only thing that he did is he said he wasn't going to do it that way again, but he never did apologize. You're correct. That is right.
Yeah, that's very Carl, where he's like, damn, I realize I did wrong. I can't actually do better though. I can't make amends.
So
Nah,
yeah,
they know I'm sorry. Whatever. I'll move on.
Yeah.
exactly.
I admitted it.
Exactly.
That's all I needed to do.
I liked him calling it out, or them calling it out on him, and I liked him acknowledging it. Whether or not it actually turns into actionable change in the future, we will see. But I did like the author taking the time to have them call him out on it. Now the next thing is whether or not he's going to actually follow through with any of it. He has been treating Donut better, especially in this book, so that has shown some improvement. But I love that how there's like this little arc for Carl that's going through the entire series where it's like he's trying his best to be a better person, but he's failing at the micro scale of it, like the interpersonal relationships. He's trying to be a better person on the wider scale. He's trying to be heroic and self-sacrificing and helping others when he can, but it's the smaller scale, people within his little circle that he's kind of failing at more often than not. So that's been interesting. I like books where the protagonists are not perfect, and even then when they're called out on it, I don't like it when they're like, "Oh, my arc is over. I am now fixed forever." I don't like it when they do that either. I like when it's a progression of things. So that's been fun to kind of watch Carl evolve a little bit over the course of the series. So yeah, we got some exploration, we got some character stuff, we got to see Mongo finally become an actual mount for like a second. Of course, that was a little off screen. That was a little off screen, off for a second, but I guess that implies that now we're going to actually start seeing Donut regularly ride Mongo, which I've been wanting since we found the little fuckers. So, so that's fun. And yeah, this fucking book is banging on all cylinders now. I enjoyed the fuck out of these chapters. I'm looking forward to reading more. I had to actually stop myself from reading ahead. This was the hardest time to stop for me in the whole series because I really wanted to see what happened next. So that's my opinion.
I like the notes you're pulling out about Carl and his personal relationship sort of issues, because it kind of makes me wonder, like, what were his personal relationships like before the dungeon? Did he have similar issues?
Oh,
Because
awful, terrible, probably.
All we really know is about his relationship with Bee, and she's horrific. But maybe he's not any picnic either.
Here's something interesting. Do we trust Donut's like judge of character?
No. No, I do not.
Because she loves Bee, and if she's a good judge of character, maybe because Carl is, our only perspective into this universe, maybe she wasn't as bad. But I mean, we have to trust Donut's judge of character, and I don't know if I also trust Donut's judge of character. Well, she's very much infant coded early on, and I think she just romanticizes her pre-sentience.
It feels like she is quick to judge whether or not she likes a person, and then the the continued judging of that person is dependent on whether or not, how they treat her. Because she's besties with Zev, and the interesting thing for me with that is that Zev is very much one of the aspects of the control of the dungeon. She's part of the narrative of the dungeon.
She's just corporate.
She's just corporate, and the thing is that she's designed to be she's not designed like she's an actual person outside of the dungeon, but her job is to be your friend, as she's like your producer, she's like your handler. She's
Right.
designed to kind of capitulate and kind of cajole you in certain directions, and I hope Donut realizes that that's just her job. Zev is not actually your friend.
And also, you're really easy to control, Donut, because you
Yeah.
play into Zev so much.
And then you have to wonder how much of that is Donut putting it on, because it has been implied many times now that her personality is a little bit put on, and her bubbly, trusting nature at times is an act. How much of that is true, how deep that goes, that's another thing. Because that is her arc that's been evolving over the course of the thing. I like how different her and Carl are. It makes for an interesting dynamic.
See, it's her opinion of B is an interesting question, because look, Carl broke up with B because he saw a picture of her sitting on her ex-boyfriend's lap on their vacation, and he's like, okay, well, that's enough. Like, that's enough for me to be like, we're done. I don't want drama. Most of the worst stuff that B's done that we've heard about so far comes from Donut, who loves B and doesn't seem to see an issue with it. It's like, oh yeah, that guy who would come over while you were at the gym, and it was like, what?
Well, and I think part of that is also, does she even understand what that means? Because I mean, she didn't at the time. So to her, it was another person probably paying attention to her, and she was a cat, and that's what cats want. So
so true. So yeah, I don't know how much you can be like, well, she liked B, so B's probably okay, because maybe not.
And yet she'll nonchalantly talk about some of the behaviors, and she'll be like, oh, that was just another person that came by. And it's like, you don't have any context for any of this, Donut. She might have been cheating. It's heavily implied that she was. So she has no frame of reference for that, though.
I feel like, wasn't there a part where it was outright like Donut says like she was sleeping with like so many other people, and then she's like, wait, does it count if if the other person's also a woman? And Carl's like, yes. It's like, okay, well then yeah.
So and that has not affected Donut's opinion of her. So I think that is a little bit of confirmation that her guiding compass is, well, they didn't do anything bad to me, so they're fine. So.
And they're not a dog, or specifically a Cocker Spaniel. So
because Donut is entirely racist towards dogs. So one of our main characters, like, oh man, she's so cute and she's precocious and she's really smart and clever at times. She also is a horrible racist, but that's not towards any humans, so it's okay.
It's just the dang Cocker Spaniels, man.
Cocker Spaniels.
Oh man. Also, I love how you started with like, this is the most action-packed set of chapters. It just reminded, like, yesterday Jennifer was listening to the chapters and she looks over and she goes, there's too much action going on. And I'm like, sorry?
That's hilarious.
So
I felt like we hadn't had like a really I mean, we had the boss fight a little while ago with the Manitar. That was kind of interesting, but even that was the Lost episode, wasn't it?
Yep.
I was talking about that. I think we even mentioned during that where it's like, Carl's not using his full move set here. He's not using explosives, and he's not using his Hystera, and
he's not kicking. He keeps punching the guy for some reason. Yeah.
And then in these chapters, all that starts to come back, and I was just like, oh, his full kit is being used again. So that's what I was happy about. That we had an actual like kind of dynamic sequence that happened. So that was fun.
It's funny because last episode you specifically called out like, we haven't seen him using his Zystera, and then in this section he's like, I haven't used my Zystera in a while. Here's why, but I'm gonna go ahead and try to.
I know someone is gonna get in the comments and be like, Mike's reading ahead. He's full of shit. I really would like to see this, and then it happens because he hasn't used Zystera like the whole fucking book, and the moment I mention it, it comes out.
Yep. But I mean, as you and he mentioned, it's like, well, because we're in super close quarters. It's not like this is a ranged weapon.
True. Very true. But he does have smoke bombs. Like, he could have been using smoke bombs.
Yeah, I feel like there's other uses for it that he could have come up with, even like barbed balls. You can throw some shit that will hurt, like that
Yeah, I
doesn't
think he
explode.
he even mentions at one point he thought about making spike balls at one point, and I'm just like, you got to start crafting, Carl. You got to get use out of your kit. Like, you spent all this time getting your aim up, and it hasn't really come into any kind of prevalence in this book yet.
Well, and he's the stuff he's using in this section is basically they're just like big ball bearings. So you can use that on someone not too far away from you. They don't explode. It's fine.
Dude, ever since he got some of those things leveled up, I have been wanting him to turn into Bullseye from Daredevil and just ping ponging them into like different enemies or off of like walls and shit. I wanted to see them get a little bit more creative with his usage of that.
I wonder how much your aim skill has to increase before you can bullseye things like that, like bounce, like you're a pool. I wonder if you can go play pool and your aim skill goes up.
Oh, that'd be interesting.
That'd be fun.
Like a Sims character, and it's like, oh, you played a lot of pool. That means you shoot really well now. What? Okay,
Sure, why not?
Okay.
Okay, Jennifer.
Well, I mean, you already kind of spoiled mine. I liked these chapters. Don't get me wrong. I really did like these chapters. I think we learned a whole lot about this floor that we needed to know and to kind of go through. And I really liked that we now get to see why that portal ability was so incredibly important for him, because this chapter just completely shows that if he hadn't had that, we wouldn't know half of what we really found out here. So I liked that we got to like fully get an idea of what that portal ability does and really see him use that. So that was nice. And I like we said before, I think it's funny that a lot of what we were talking about last episode was actually here. So, hey, yay, go us. We can, we can predict what's going to happen next. So that was fun to see some of those things. Like, I did enjoy seeing Donut kind of tell Carl, hey, you need to be nicer to Katia. Granted, I think she does too a little bit, but which I don't know that she kind of realized herself, but
yeah, he calls her out on it too, and he's like, well, you're saying this. She's like, well, that's just fashion. It's not her. And I'm like, well,
yeah,
it's kind of
totally different.
Kind of the same thing. You're telling her to change what her body looks like. That's the same thing, Donut.
She's not good as she is. She needs to be better. Yeah, definitely kind of the same thing. So I think I don't know if she fully realized that, but I think Carl did. So that was good to see. Now I just would like to see Carl actually employ that with Katia and kind of see that, like, in his conversations with her, recognize that, you're a person with feelings and you need to treat her that way too. But overall, I really did enjoy these. They were very action-y, which generally I am not an action kind of person. I don't love action movies, as Data can tell you. So there's that. But at the same time, I really kind of did enjoy the action that was here because it was very useful in kind of understanding what was going on and needed. I thought there for a minute that, Carl might die, which obviously he wasn't going to do, but, it gave you that feeling. You're like, wait, shoot, what's happening? Is he actually going to make it out of this? And then he did. So overall, I thought these were definitely some really great chapters. And I'm along the lines of, I didn't want to stop reading. In fact, I was doing the audiobook and I had to stop for a second because I was like, wait, which chapter is this on? Because it kind of just keeps chaptering. And I was like, I don't want to stop. And then I realized I'd listened to like the first 30 seconds of the next chapter, which, I mean, wasn't really anything, but I know. And then I was like, aw, now I actually do have to stop. So definitely I was enjoying these and kind of can't wait to see what happens next.
That's my favorite new verb, chaptering.
Yeah.
New word unlocked.
Woo woo.
Achievement unlocked.
It's true there's lots of action here, but it's like toward the purpose. So I get what you mean, that you're like, yeah. And also, it really seems like Carl should be dead after the thing with the train, where it's like his invincible feet came into play again, and I'm like, I feel like that's not enough to stop that from murdering you.
The train only hit his feet at first, and I'm like, bullshit, it did.
Yeah, I was like, there's no way that he would have lived through this. Let's be honest.
I feel like he should have been way more hurt, and that would have been more interesting. Like him having to figure out the train while he was like dealing with near mortal wounds. But I guess he wanted him to focus more on the problem solving aspect of it and not the train is about to explode, but you're also bleeding out. And I'm like, I feel like those would have been really good stakes to have right there. But that's just me.
The way I picture it is like
writering.
He's jumped into the air and his feet are the only part like pointing at the train. And I'm like, even invincible feet doesn't stop the like momentum of the train from shoving your leg bones up into your insides. So
Yeah,
like,
your feet are okay, but your knees are blown out.
yeah. So yeah. That may have just been a little bit of rule of cool authors. Like I'm gonna just say the invincible feet did the trick, but I'm like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Tim, what do you think?
I mean, I love these. These were fun chapters to talk about something no one else has talked about. I love how we have our own Calcifer, the little fire that was in Hal's moving castle that kept the castle moving.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, except this one just constantly shits out stillbirths. So Dungeon Carl, like Calcifer. So I love that. I love that we got a moment where Carl did something that I absolutely know that Mordecai would have hated. And it was that bit where everyone started sharing their information so they could all text each other. And I'm like, that doesn't seem like something that Mordecai would have cared for. He would have probably wanted you to not put yourself at risk for other people. And yeah, I dug that. I was like, hey, look, this is why Mordecai needed to go away. They were relying on him way too goddamn much.
You think
Yeah,
Mordecai
but
wouldn't be okay with
also-
like crowdsourcing information?
I'm positive he would
kind
not.
of he kind of indicated he wasn't before, so he was kind of like, you have to be in this for you.
Yeah, don't fuck with other people. They're not worth it.
The smart thing on Carl's part doing all this though is that it's kind of like a public relations thing too, because as people mentioned, they were like, you're not as crazy as the show makes you look, and that has been a thing, especially this season, that they've been doing. Like now that he's in the top 10, they're trying to kind of cast him as a villain to get people, like to get asses moving and trying to kill him and everything, and I feel like this is a good way to have Carl be like, look, we all need to work together if we're gonna, apes together strong, So
Yes, okay.
and he's helping as much as he can, and he's kind of lamenting the fact he's like, I'm turning into dungeon tech support at this point, but that's the thing, is that's kind of the cost of doing the public relations thing, is that these people are going to rely on you a little bit more, and you're going to hope that you're going to give them good information. I have a feeling that this may backfire in some way that I have not foreseen, but I feel like
I don't think it's going to backfire. I think it's good for building up tension for the inevitable fight between Carl and Quan Chi.
I love that we've just taken to just calling him Quan Chi, because that's all.
Remember his real name, otherwise.
he's just a villain at this point. I mean, it's hilarious that he's breaking the trains and this whole system that has been built on this floor because this company is cheap, and we'll just throw out the trains and build more, I guess. But they can't. They don't seem to be replenishing them. They just go away.
So yeah, everyone's getting stranded, and he's the culprit for it. And I'm looking at how much of the book is left, and I'm like, oh yeah, Quan Chi's coming. We're gonna have Carl, Donut, and Katia fighting a Superman who can fly around and destroy trains. And yeah, that's slowly becoming what I think the end game for this book is just them versus Hancock.
Okay.
And I think this is a good way to start getting into that, because it's playing on Carl's guilt. He's already having these little stress nightmares of like, all these people, oh my god, I gotta save them.
I like that now on Tim's bingo card we've got the crew versus Hancock, and last time we had Carl's gonna summon a god at some point, because we've like foreshadowed it with the almost summoning of a god. So we're gonna have they're gonna fight Superman and a god both.
Yep.
I was actually equating Quan Chi to the bad guy from Megamind. Just an
Titan?
asshole who got a bunch of powers.
Titan, yeah.
Titan a little bit, yeah, maybe. We still haven't really met the guy, but he's a prick, and he needs to be put down.
Yeah.
So...
Well, that's my whole thing, is that he got all these powers, and he was just like, I must only use these powers to annoy.
Yeah, to just fuck with everyone for no reason.
Because I'm angry, because I've been weak up until this point. Now I'm strong, so fuck everybody. And so Carl has to take on the opposite of that. Also, now because of you, Tim, I've now changed one of my predictions for the end of the show. So I don't mean that as like a bad thing. I'm just like, because you mentioned something and I was just like, oh shit, I know what's gonna happen now with something.
And then Titan showed up.
Yeah. Jonah Hill shows up.
Not the Titans.
But we'll save those for the end of the show.
You know, there has to be a celebrity that's alive, right?
There has to be.
One.
That would be really funny.
Yeah.
I mean,
especially
Jesus.
when it becomes a movie or a TV show. Like they're going to get somebody. Michael Cera survived, and he's down in the dungeon.
Oh,
I'm thinking like Zombieland.
Bill Murray.
Bill Murray pops
Bill
up.
Murray.
Yeah.
Or because it's Seth MacFarlane, Sam Jones for no reason. It's like, of course, Flash Gordon survived.
I mean, you say Seth MacFarlane's doing it, and I'm like, oh yeah, then it has to be Patrick Warburton.
Well, okay.
I was going to say Seth's down there.
Seth MacFarlane just put Seth MacFarlane in it, and he's like, "No, I'm the celebrity who survived." It's fine.
That could also be. It could also be
horribly.
Patrick Stewart, because he puts Patrick Stewart in a ton of shit too. Because they're
look,
friends now.
If I was making TV shows and Patrick Stewart was willing to be in them, he would be in all of them. So...
No, seriously, he's a fan of Star Trek who became friends with Picard. Like, I would also put him in everything I could put him in.
You know, like he's funny in American Dad. I don't watch a whole lot of American Dad, but Patrick Stewart, I've seen some great moments from him. So
I know I definitely want Spiner to play Mordecai at this point. I think Spiner would be a really good Mordecai.
Brent Spiner is great, but gets like the weirdest work.
Yeah, he'd be great playing a different like monster man every season. That would be great.
Now I'm going through his IMDb. I didn't remember he was the Joker in Young Justice.
Yeah.
I like that.
He was all right. He wasn't terrible.
He was pretty good.
I remember him from Night Court before he even got the job on The Next Generation. It's like
played like that Southern guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If anyone hasn't seen the Night Court Bob Wheeler compilations, go to YouTube because they are hilarious. And of course, he's in Independence Day and Dude, Where's My Car in like the dumbest roles. Good times.
I think he would play that well just because there's a little bit of like a sadness to Mordecai, but it's played for yucks, you know?
Yeah, and he's got like this kind of like old tired quality to him too, which I think Brent Spiner could do at this point in his career very easily.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like I'm done. I hate all of this. I'll help, but okay.
We're gonna have to do just like an episode of this show where we talk about casting at some point.
Oh yeah. Jonathan Frakes as one of the execs, because I want him to be Xanatos again.
Xanatos is such a great role.
Yeah, and I just want him to be in charge of one of these corporations. Doesn't matter who.
Yeah, you gotta find just the right one that has the gravitas that he can bring to it. You don't want him to be like someone like Zev, who that's not the same.
No,
I want Catherine Hahn to play Zev.
I could see that actually.
Perfect, I think.
I feel like with how much they talk about like Gossip Girl and Gilmore Girls, they have to get one of those people to play Zev. Like it would be a hilarious reference.
I was thinking of getting the actual actresses to play the
Rory and the Goblins.
Rory and the Goblins. I want the Goblins to be played by the ones that are named. I want them to be played by those actresses that played those characters.
Okay,
I think that would be a funny meta joke.
Given how small their roles are, that would be hilarious. I love that actually.
You guys do remember though that Seth MacFarlane was on Gilmore Girls too, so he might actually. Yeah, he might actually.
He's probably still friends with everybody there. Yeah,
he could probably do that and get them to be the Goblins.
Wait, who's Seth MacFarlane on Gilmore? Hold on.
He had 3 appearances.
Yeah, he didn't have a major role. He just had some random.
No, he's just there.
The weirdest thing is when he pops up on Enterprise twice.
Yeah. Yeah, it took me right out of Enterprise because I was like, "Oh my god, there he is, Mr. Ascended Fandom."
2 episodes in the season 2 episode, Lorelai's graduation day, and the voice of a lawyer in season 3. Wow. Okay. Yeah. There you go. That's hilarious. But he was in Hellboy 2: The Golden Army. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Anyway. All right. I guess unless you had some more, we can move into these chapters.
No. That's pretty mumuch it. Everyone else kind of hit everything else, but I was just like, I love Calcifer who shits stillborns, and I just dig that he shared his information with everybody because I was like, there you go. That's thinking outside the box. That's something only your ass would do. Who's asked to save the fucking old people? You know, like.
I mean, in this situation where it's like, the whole how to survive this floor is the mystery. So why don't we help each other figure out the fucking mystery? It's not like we're in competition with each other exactly. Everyone who can make it down to the next floor can make it down to the next floor. There's not a limit. All right. We start out this chapter, and so we don't have it's not every chapter anymore, but we do occasionally get these updates about views and favorites and followers. So we're at 123 quadrillion views, 372 trillion favorites. So the numbers keep going up, and at this point, it's just like abstract. Like this means nothing to me anymore when you get numbers that big.
Oh yeah.
But we've got just under 7 days left on the floor, which is a less abstract concept for sure. And we start out with Donuts practicing her whole spell again, and she has come up with my favorite use of any of the ones they've done so far, where it's like Mongo stands right next to the hole, and then she casts the clockwork triplicate, and the 2 robot Mongos show up on the other side. I think that's just genius.
Yes, I loved that.
It's like throwing a box of angry bees into a room and closing the door.
Yeah.
And just see what happens.
Love it.
Like a balloon, and then something bad happens.
Yeah.
Like too much air in a balloon.
And so they're waiting on the train, the Nightmare Express train. But also, there's like immediately a flashback, like they're waiting for the train, but also we went to the Desperado Club. Let's touch on how that went. And they've got their bodyguards, Bomo and the Sledge again. And the Sledge bought a magical protection spell with his own money to protect the princess. What a guy.
Well, I mean,
like
he
that
did
she
almost
pet
get
him.
her killed, so...
They're doing their best.
And she
not
kind of
great.
saved his life. Well, Carl
Yeah.
did, but whatever.
Yeah, but it was nice. And I like
It
that she
was.
pet him and said, "Oh, thank you."
It was sweet.
And we get
They're
more
just
description.
winning minds and hearts out here.
Yeah, just being good guy. Carl and Donut. We also get a little more information about his new ability. He's like, it doesn't work on all doors, which I was like, well, obviously, dude, it's a portal thing. But so he can, these portals that teleport you somewhere else, he can now see what's on the other side of them and know if he can survive going through them and all that stuff. So it's pretty cool. And we see how useful that comes in later, as Jennifer mentioned. Like, he got that pill just in time. And he does go out and on the dance floor, and he's like, hey, everybody, like, let's fist bump. Let's all get in each other's chats. We can help each other succeed. And all the other people are like, okay, whatever. And not only, like, I want you all in my chats, but why don't you all get in each other's chats? And then we can, all share. And some guy has discovered a way to mass send messages to everyone in your list. And so now there's just a bunch of, it's become like a Discord channel, basically. And he's like, I have to mute half of this shit. Like, this is too much.
It's turning into a bulletin board.
I mean, yeah, okay, yeah.
I was thinking spam folder, but that works too. Just
But
like
then
you
people
stop
keep-
paying any attention to it because there's just too much.
People are still messaging him directly and getting him to explain things. And he's like, it's shocking how little some people have managed to figure out when we've been here for 3 days. It's like, if it's a colored line, it'll always be a subway train, and they never come back down. The name trains come back down, and they can be anything. And the person's like, but I just got on the Fulvis, and that's a subway line, and it doesn't go back down. He's like, yeah, that's because Fulvis is a color. They're using weird colors. Well, I've never heard of it.
I've never heard of a
He's
lot of
just like-
colors. I'm just saying.
He's just like, I stopped responding after that.
Yeah, here's the thing, though, Carl, as well. Him talking about how it's weird how no one else has figured stuff out. It was like, Carl, you have kind of knowledge privilege at this point because you've had a leg up on a lot of things because you have a manager, and you guys have had to go through quite a bit since you got here. So that's the whole point. Some people are going to have less information. That's why you're helping them, Carl. Because
he also has that skill that lets him like look at the map thing and see a bunch more detail than anyone else can see. So
exactly.
But he's trying to help out, It's not his fault that some of these people are like, well, kind of jerks about it, but
I guess he was hoping that there was someone else that was like more capable that he could gain some more knowledge from, but it's like, Carl, this is more about you winning friends and winning people over. That's how I look at it.
At the very least, he learned how to mass send messages from that Japanese guy, so he learned something.
There's also an unstated thing here is that he can actually keep track of who is where and when they die because they automatically get put into a different folder when they die.
True.
So kind of a morbid way of tracking like how many people are being offed, in this group.
I mean, apparently there's like a counter going all the time on the screens of how many people are left. So we haven't heard about it in a while, though.
That's
Was
true,
that-
but if he knows where someone is when they died, that's intel right there. And he
True.
can be like, especially if they're like, I think Quan Chi is coming at us, and then they died. It's like, well, I guess we know what line they were on when he was there. So,
Okay, so yeah, they're waiting for the Nightmare Express, and the train takes an hour and a half to loop all the way around on its several stations that it goes to, and so it comes up. It's like this coal steam engine, jet black, and got a cow catcher in the front. It's just an old school looking train, but the issue is there's only one door essentially up at the front, but that is the exit only door. You have to get on the train at the back. And the train is just like pulling a bunch of cars full of monsters. And it's like, you have to, the way that it seems to be made out is you're supposed to climb over the rickety platform on above the cars
and somehow
to get to
not
the front.
die.
Yeah.
Yeah. Somehow manage that.
And he's just like, oh, fuck that. No.
I'm a little, just only slightly disappointed that a nightmare train essentially is a bucket of monsters.
Yeah, you guys were coming up with all these creative ideas for what the nightmare was going to be. And it's like, no, it's just a shit ton of monsters.
It's just a shit ton of monsters, which I'm like, I can't be too disappointed about that because that's fun too.
But I feel like
it's
they
the
could have,
opening of Last Crusade.
right?
I mean, yeah, kind of.
Yeah, except we didn't actually go through the train.
No.
So whatever.
They could have done a little bit more with it, I think. You're going to call it the Nightmare. Make it a nightmare, man. Of course, I'm now thinking the same thing about the Abyss, and I'm like, maybe the Abyss isn't really that scary either, but I'm like, a train called the Abyss. What kind of fun could you get on there?
No, I don't think the Abyss isn't the train. The Abyss is like the giant hole at the top. That
Yeah,
all the
Yeah,
trains
but I
go
mean,
in.
if you
Yeah, throw
ride
all
the
the
train
trains
through
down.
it, what kind of fun things happen?
Mm.
The thing that made me kind of laugh about the nightmare train when I thought about it was it felt like a train that was made by committee, that they were like, let's just put all the scariest stuff and put it in one train and then just make it a bunch of boxes and then, I don't know, force people to climb over the top of it. It felt like the idea that a producer would throw out in a thing where it's just like, what if we just throw a shit ton of monsters in cages? And the uncreativeness was actually kind of funny about it. And the funny thing that Carl did was that he just sidestepped the whole thing and he broke the game that they were trying to make out of the train. He subverted the expectation of the train by just breaking the whole idea of it. And I thought that was actually kind of funny. So I ultimately liked the nightmare train. I was just kind of hoping for something a little bit more weirdly metaphysical. Because I know we were all throwing out a bunch of different ideas last time, but this was still a fun idea and fun sequence.
Definitely. I enjoyed it. I did quite enjoy it.
If you did it the way they designed it, it would be pretty. This would be like the worst platforming level in a game ever. So, but no, Carl's like, no. We're not going to play their game.
We're not doing this.
And so he's like, okay, I got an idea. We're going to try something a little bit different. We're going to wait for it to go back around. We got to wait another hour and a half. And then we just cut to, I guess, an hour and a half later, where Katya's like, Hecla warned me you guys were crazy. She told me to be careful because she'd probably get me killed. And Carl just grins at her, and it's like, well, first off, you already told me that. Secondly, you're not the one risking anything. It's just me this time. Well, and Donut. And so the plan is to go down the track where the train is coming from. Carl's going to, just before the train gets there, Carl's going to set off his protective shell spell, and then Donut is supposed to puddle jumper the two of them back to the platform before the train hits them. Unfortunately, they get way down there, and she starts setting up her spell, and she's like, oh, it doesn't go all the way back to the platform. Although, wait, before we get into that, this is where Donut takes the opportunity to be like, hey, that was pretty messed up what you did to Katia.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And she's like, why do you keep telling her what to do? You didn't even ask if she wanted to get giant. And he's like, what? She likes it. He's like, yeah, but what if she didn't? And he's like, well, what about you with your boots and purple mohawk stuff? And Donut's like, no, that's different. That's fashion. That's not making somebody change.
I'm gonna call out Donut a little bit more here too, because there was a time earlier when they were having to get out of a certain situation. Katia tried to question the plan, and Donut is like, you don't question the plan, you just go along with what Carl says. And I was just like, Donut, you've been kind of enabling this just a little bit.
You're not wrong. Although in the life or death situation, it's probably like, no, Questions for
just,
later.
Yeah.
Exactly. But Carl was treating putting that on her as a life and death situation in his mind, but he really should have asked first. So it is valid to point it out, but Donut has been just as bad about all of this.
Well, yeah, and she's like, that's not making her change. And I was like, well, technically, in Katya's case, it is literally making her change.
Mhm.
So, yeah.
It hurts for her to change what she looks like, Donut.
And Carl thinks about it for a second, and he's like, I mean, I'm just trying to keep her alive. I'm not trying to be a jerk. But he goes, you know what? You're right, Donut. Next time I'll ask her. And she just pats him. Good boy, Carl. And then we move on. And so by the time they figure out the spell can't get them all the way back, it looks like he's like, you didn't tell me it couldn't go that far. And she's like, what? It says line of sight. It's not my fault the description's wrong. Which it can be line of sight, but also have a distance limit. Those are not mutually exclusive, but whatever.
Yeah.
Very video gamey type thing where it's like, oh yeah, it works like that to a point.
Mm-hmm.
It's the kind of thing that you guys should have maybe tested back on the other floor when you had like all the space in the world to do it.
Even here, if you like look as far down the track as you can look and make sure that you could set up the spell to go there if we wanted to. You can? Okay, great. Yeah.
Does that mean you can't use the spell if you can't see? Like if you're blind?
Yes. I think that's exactly what it means. Because we saw them try to use it earlier and like they were trapped at the bottom of something and she couldn't see over the lip above them, so she couldn't like get them over it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's too late. The train is coming. And so he's like, cast now. And he casts Protective Shell, and they jump a quarter mile down the track, but not far enough. And he has to run. Fuck, run! And Donut's faster than Carl, so that's she makes it out. He does not. And I love the end of that section. It's like, I'm not going to make it. I jumped. I didn't make it. Okay, well, he knew that he wasn't going to. There you go. I crashed. I tumbled. I broke. If my body wasn't enhanced by supernatural constitution, I would have exploded like a blood and gut filled water balloon. It's good imagery there. Okay. Like a balloon and something bad happens. Exactly.
Hey.
You know? And so he's kind of tossed up not onto the landing. He's like, onto the landing would have been better. But no, he's like thrown down the track and he hits the cow catcher and flips over and ends up on the front of the train, basically. Hurt. He casts his healing spell, and his invulnerable feet were the part that actually caught the front of the train, so he's barely alive. And the train has a big 666 on the front of the boiler, because why not?
It's festive.
And so the spell worked. Donut messages him, the train is all broken in the back. And he thought it would slow down, but to stop at the station, but no, it's going faster, in fact. Which we find out in a minute is because the people in the main car were squished also, so there's no one to stop the train.
Which, doesn't that mean they were enemies, or at least marked as enemies?
Yes, they were both. So would have been red marked. Yep.
So at some point, they saw someone on the track, and instead of being, "Oh no, stop," they were like, "Yeah, let's kill him," and they turned into enemies.
Maybe if they weren't enemies all along, yeah.
Because the other one wasn't an enemy at first. The little Manitar guy.
That's true. He was not.
He seemed pretty chill until he found out that they're the ones that derailed his train. So yeah, maybe if these guys weren't so bloodthirsty, they would have lived.
I think Brandy says one of the two guys in the front of the train was the War Mage.
Yeah.
So
he understand War Mage dying. That's his role is to kill.
But if he's all buddy with the driver on this one, then maybe the other guy was also evil.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that the Nightmare Train, everyone on it, except for the fire, was evil, which is funny.
Yeah. So
it would have been funny if one of the child's children had died too.
Oh,
and you're just like,
that
one why was that one an enemy?
It was an evil baby.
What the fuck?
I mean, she is a demon, but he has to climb along the outside of the train as it's going faster and faster through this tiny tunnel. And get to, and he's like, oh man, the driver must have been red tagged too, because the entire inside of the main car is full of gore. He's like, whatever he was, he's very, very dead now. And so he has to punch through the window and climb in. And he notices there's actually two people in here. He's like, ah, shit, two drivers missed me and it's twice as complicated. I don't like this. And as he's looking at the controls, trying to figure out what to do, a tooltip pops up that says shattering train bomb. A steam boiler made with a shocking disregard for safety. It's almost like they want this thing to explode. And status deteriorating 75 out of 1,000. So it has deteriorated quite a bit. And he has no clue what to do. He doesn't know how to drive a fucking steam engine. So he's looking around like turning random stuff. Like maybe this will do something. And he's about to start messaging people. Be like, does anyone know how to drive a train? When he sees a face in the fireplace. And it's a white dot on the minimap. And he's like, what the fuck? And he opens the door, and there's a demonic female inside who looks like a black-haired 1950s pinup version of a Red Devil with a rockabilly hairdo. And she's called Firebrandy, Lesser Demon MILF, level 75.
I like the MILF.
Yeah. So lesser demons are often used to make stuff that runs on fire engines or ovens, whatever, really hot. And it says, once a pregnant lesser demon falls into labor, her delivery usually lasts about 60 days, delivering between 15 and 18,000 babies. Once every 5 minutes, approximately. But only 1 in 10,000 is viable. The others die, and their corpses shrivel up and become something called shale bricks, which burn long and hot. And by long, we later find out it means more than your lifetime. So... And he's just like, holy crap, this train is running on dead babies. That's really fucked up. And it's funny because we've talked before about like running on an orphan child or whatever. And these aren't orphans, but
powered by the
babies.
heart of an orphan. Yeah.
A forsaken child.
Not a whole one.
Yeah. Just a little orphan child. And she's like, something happened to the engineer and that Kotzbrocken war mage, which that sounds like a German word, but I actually never looked that up. Let's see. Kotzbrocken meaning. That means, according to Google, that means puke.
Oh, nice.
So the vomit mage.
Or piece of shit is another one that's given here. It's a pejorative.
Oh.
Okay, well, there you go.
Okay. So, not really a description. Just calling him a piece of shit. Gotcha.
Yeah. They go splat and see that. And so she tells him which valves to use to stop the train from exploding, and it works out. And I tell you, Firebrandy, very popular in the fandom with like artists and even like cosplayers. I'm going to show you some of the random images, but people love Firebrandy. Whoops, don't do that. What are you doing? No, I don't want to pay for. What the fuck are you talking about?
Hey.
Oh, it's too big a file. Sorry, I was like, it's like you need to buy Nitro to paste this picture, and I was like, why the fuck would I need to do that?
Oh, when I was saying like, when I was hearing you say like you had to pay for it, I was just like, wait, what site are you going to? What are we looking at here?
Let's see.
That's actually a very good piece of art. I actually really like that.
Yeah.
So people have cosplayed this. Crazy.
Yes. And
I like how she's cosplaying her as pregnant, too.
I know, right?
Well, yeah, he's pregnant in the story, you know?
That makes more sense.
Yeah.
And then here's this one is actually, I think, the favorite piece of art that I've seen of it, but this is, somebody took the art and got a tattoo out of it, which I thought looked very cool.
Oh, shit.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Michael looks like he's having a great time.
Donut looks a little bit derpy there, but other than that, it's a very cool picture.
Donut's derpy anyway.
He is derpy.
But yes, people love Firebrandy, and she's fun here in this section.
I actually love the train having horns too.
Yeah, why not? It's an evil train. Maybe it'll transform into a giant evil robot.
That'd be pretty cool.
It could happen.
Oh, I hope.
And so she gives him a brief tutorial on how to do the train, and then she's like, okay, so I got to go back in and get back to giving birth to children now. You don't make us blow up, okay?
Try not to. Do my best.
And we see there's a box of extra Sheol bricks to burn. She's like, if something happens to me, use those. And the description is about, if Santa gives coal to regular naughty kids, he probably gives this stuff to history's greatest villains, like Hans Gruber and that guy who invented the shoes with the individual toes built in. So, very on par, those two. To save you distress, I'm not going to tell you where this came from. That's a lie. It's a baby corpse. But we already knew that, so it's fine.
Pick up this box of dead babies. It'll be useful for explosives later. Something that you can only say in this book series.
He definitely does pick up the entire box of 50 bricks. So, yeah. I mean, he feels a way about it, but he does it.
I mean, yeah, it's going to be useful. Forever burning, or mostly forever burning.
If it makes him feel any better, they're not real dead babies. They're fake dead babies.
Exactly.
And then he picks up the steam engineer's key, which is not just for this line like the other key was. This is for all 400 steam type trains in the Iron Tangle. So pretty sweet. Also, apparently within that train there were 3 neighborhood bosses somewhere, because he just notices he's gone up 3 whole levels to level 32 and has 3 new neighborhood boss kills. So
Love that for him.
and now he has his own train that he can drive. And because he killed 3 boss monsters with the same attack, he gets the Platinum Big Daddy box. These are just so fun.
But hey, train's a hell of an upgrade from a little moped.
Yeah,
They're coming up in the world. And also that had a boiler too. So if anything, it's
that's true. I kind of
just a
forgot that
bigger version of that.
Yeah, they picked up like 2 tons of coal or something when they got that too. So he's probably got a lot of that left as well.
Yeah, that's right. He could build another motorcycle. He could run on dead babies. That's something that they could do.
And so Carl's like, "Hey, Donut, go back down the track and check if there's like maps or whatever we can get off those neighborhood boss corpses." And he's going to go up to station 436 and then loop back around to pick them up. And also, hey, we know that there's only one train on this track, and I haven't. I'm not going to be back there anytime soon. Why don't you use the track to like test riding Mongo, see how fast you can go? She's like, "Oh my gosh, that's great." And the chapter ends with her like, "Don't ever do this to me again, Carl. I thought you'd been squished." Draw. It's kind of cute.
But also, it's
Like
gonna
anytime.
happen. like it's gonna happen again later. I mean,
Almost certainly.
yeah. Shit. This
like
happened
anytime
last book with the donut, where she was almost dead, and he had to fucking save her.
Sure.
Exactly. My
And
favorite
Mongo
moments
didn't
are
help.
when they have to show like actual genuine concern for each other and be like, "Don't ever do that again," but know that I love you,
Jerk. I love you. Yeah, no.
asshole.
And so he makes it up to where there's like a switching track, and there's several different areas you can go do: auxiliary tracks, station repair, and recycle. He's like, "Okay, well, I don't know which of these things to follow at this point." And he kind of looks down, tries to figure out where these go, and he can use his new skill to examine the portals if he gets close enough to see where they lead the train. And Donut now has the map, which shows the entire line, so she can see exactly where on the line Carl is and what stuff is on the line as well. Because if you remember when they got the other map, it even showed them like bad guys walking up and down the tracks. So very useful. And so station 436 is the Abyss station, and this is the one that's not supposed to exist. We keep being told that stations end at 435. And he gets there, and there's like nothing there except for like I think it's like a bench and then a ladder or something. So no bench, no sign, just some stairs. That's what it is. And he's like, "I guess I go up the stairs." All right. And it's actually quite a long way. It says it takes him an hour of going up before he gets to the Abyss. And he looks out, and it's just like a giant pit. Hundreds, if not thousands, of giant glowing portals and catwalks along the interior of the big burning pit. And as he's watching, he has this memory of going with his mother to the Grand Canyon. His father is in the car waiting for them because he doesn't want to get out and see. And it's actually a really weird like memory where they're standing on the edge and she's clutching his hand so tightly. Do you remember the circus? That was fun, wasn't it?
Why do we keep coming back to that freaking circus?
Well,
It's
in this
weird.
case, this is because they went to the circus when she ran away from his dad and they were in Texas. This is on the way back from that, it says, when they were coming back from Texas. So
Still
I guess
seems like
that's-
just a completely random, like, why are we talking about the circus part?
We do so much flashbacks to his family life.
It's like, it's got to come
And
in at
it's-
some point.
It doesn't do anything for me because it's just so tropey. And now this one in particular made me go, are they fucking aliens? Like, is that where this is fucking going? Like, why do we keep coming back to this?
Hilariously, one of my predictions is going to be centered around these flashbacks of his.
Like, was
That is-
Carl never human?
that would be funny.
That would be fun.
He was already a primal. And he
I
turned
mean,
himself into a primal.
he might have already been a primal. No one knows what the fuck a primal looks like.
Yeah.
But
He was a Saiyan raised on Earth.
yeah, because we keep going back to these guys, and yeah, I'm with Jen where I'm just like, what the fuck? Can we stop?
Yeah, I mean, it's just so like, it doesn't connect back to anything half the time, and I'm just like, what is the point of this? Are we trying to
Part of
humanize
my
him? I don't understand.
yeah. Part of my predictions are centered around what I think is going on there, but we'll get there.
Ooh.
Okay. I'll wait for that. I was going to tell you like how this scene read to me,
Don't do
but I'm going to wait till Mike does his prediction later, and then I'll.
Okay.
Because I don't want to artificially influence anyone.
I wouldn't change my my prediction based on what you said anyway. I would stick to it.
Yeah. So as he's watching this giant pit, he sees a train come through one of the portals, and the cars just like fall into the pit, and there's a giant crash. And as he keeps watching more and more, and he notices the pit is full of thousands of crashed train cars, but no engine cars. So now we know it's not. He figures out it's not a time loop. They've got, I guess, it's like they have a template for the cars on the train. And when you get to the end of the line, all of the cars except the engine get thrown out, and they've 3D printed a brand new one. And that's why dude keeps finding the money in the drawer every time they go around, because it's the new train with all the stuff set up exactly how it was before.
And the weird memory thing that happens is all they're doing is probably just wiping their short-term memories, so they're not actually fully remembering everything that happens on the train. Which,
as you guys point out, it's the most ridiculously wasteful thing that I've ever.
It's the most brute force method of doing a loop, because they're like, look, we can do a lot with our metaphysical bullshit, but we don't know how to do time loops, so we gotta have to like simulate a time loop.
I'm just like, do they not want to have to like clean the trains and repair them or whatever? So they're like, nah, fuck it. Just
that would require more manpower. And this whole season, I love the undercurrent of we spared no expense, and then they spared every expense.
Every expense.
Because it's cheaper for them to throw out trains and build new ones than just hire people to clean them. They're like, it's faster. Come on, we gotta keep this moving. It's easier for us to just make a whole new train than to clean one.
Apparently, yep.
I love how wasteful and dumb that is.
And then he uses his new portal vision to look at one of the portals, and it even tells him like, you can't pass through the portal from this side. And the portal is gated by conveyance type and key holders. So you either have to be on a conveyance that is allowed through, and or you have to have a key equipped or outside your inventory that is compatible. And then it even goes so far as like compatible keys have been marked in your inventory. This is just crazy useful.
Yeah. And you can't just hold a couple of like hubcaps and make choo-choo noises and run through the portal. That won't work. Maybe they'll think I'm a train.
And also the inside of the abyss has a bunch of big lizard monsters crawling around in it for some reason, and then one of them sees him and he has to leave.
I have a feeling that whatever mobs survive going through and crashing down in there, they're all just stuck down there in the pit. Like the pit is just hell, probably.
Quite possibly.
It's where all the refuse goes, and if you get stuck down there, I'm not saying that's what's going to happen to our mains, but it could. We'll see.
And so he has 3 things in his inventory that will let you through the portal: the 2 keys, the Ocker line key and the steam train key, and the souvenir hat that was the first thing they got when they got on this floor. That was like, you rode a train. Your prize is this conductor hat. And
all the while, it had those credentials attached to it,
which was funny because then people sold them, and I was like, I love that.
Well,
I love the simplicity of it.
Well, I mean, but I think they should have stopped and questioned, because obviously, if they're willing to pay you that much gold for it, like there has to be a reason for it. Why didn't you stop and think about this?
And why did they give you this? But they're complimentary.
Nothing is complimentary.
They should all know by this point in the dungeon. The people who believe in complimentary shit died in the first floor.
Look, I'm not okay. When I go into like a hotel and I get a room, I'm not assuming that all the soaps that I'm stealing, I can pay for drinks at the bar with them.
True.
So, there.
So
it's an honest thing to not think about.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, but the drink's not worth 5,000 gold.
Also true.
And you know what? Beer's not worth a piece of soap. But, here we are.
And he sends out a message to everybody, like, you're not going to believe this shit. So we found a few ways to get to the lower level stations. Let everybody know. Spread the word. One, you just put on that stupid hat and you ride the train to the end and you go through. Now, the train cars you're riding in will not go through, which means you'll end up in the middle of a train station filled with thousands of zombies, but you can go through.
I want fan art. I'm requesting fan art at home. Make a conductor's hat and put on it. I rode the Iron Tangle and all I got was the stupid fucking hat.
Yes.
Now I have to see if I accidentally typed in Iron Tangle hate instead of hat, and that doesn't work. Oh, you can get one on Etsy. There are apparently several hats out there. I rode the Iron Tangle hats, not with the rest of it. Let's see.
It's hilarious. It already kind of exists.
Oh, this one has the anarchy symbol behind it. That's not bad.
Oh, those are cool looking. Damn, I
yeah.
kind of want it now. It's such a stupid hat, and I want it.
Oh, here's this is my favorite one. This is fan art of Donut wearing the hat.
Yay!
I'm gonna have to put links to some of these pictures in the description or something. I've given you guys several pictures that nobody can see because we're not a visual podcast. Anyway, so you can get an engineer's key, and that will let you through also. And then if you're actually in the engineer's car, you'll be inside the train when you get to the station. Of course, you can't really get an engineer's key without crashing most of these trains. So,
Good luck.
and then you can get off at the station where the employees get off. There's supposed to be a portal that takes you back, but you probably have to fight a boss. And we get one response that's like, "Oh, thanks, mate. You're not nearly as crazy as they make you look on the show." And another person who's like, "We sold all of our hats. Everyone in the party, they were giving us 5,000 gold each." So yeah,
dumbasses. You die.
I love the idea that anyone who because they all appeared on trains and got the hat as soon as they appeared. So anyone who's just like, I'm just going to sit here on this train and put this hat on would have instantly made it to the beginning.
It's like a twist at the end of like a Saw movie where Jigsaw is like, the key to your freedom was the hat the whole time. Why didn't you like my hat? I spent all night making it. Now you're fucked.
Yeah, okay.
It's the opening of Far Cry 4, where if you don't do anything,
you just stayed in the room, yeah,
you win and you get credits to you finish the game.
It's
if
a
you
canonical
just
ending.
Don't do anything.
Yep.
But is that a better ending?
No,
for
it's
the
not
world?
a better.
No, it's not a better ending. It's just an ending.
It's a good ending for you though.
Yeah, fair. Okay, and then Carl or Donut's like, "Hurry back, Carl! I got my first benefactor box, and it's the greatest prize in history." And Katya's like, "Yep, it's super great." And Donut's charisma hit 100, and she's got a new skill called Love Vampire out of it. So if you get a stat to 100, you get something cool, I guess. And it takes him 2 hours, but he makes it back to the station where they are, and Katya is in her, what he calls now her pink-skinned She-Hulk form, but she's got spikes coming out of her back, which I guess is a new idea. And Donut has sunglasses on, which I'm sure you guys have seen some of the images that we've already had were Donut with the glasses on. So
as soon as I saw that, I was like, oh, that's real. I just thought that was someone having some fun. And when she said it's the greatest prize of all time, I thought that was really funny. That was cute. She would think that's the best thing of all time.
And these are one of a kind, designed by her benefactor, the Princess Donut Special High Fashion Edition goggles.
Turns her into Cyclops.
I mean, they have all kinds of cool abilities. It lets her like shoot when she shoots the beams from her eyes. She can like split them into multiple beams to hit multiple people, or she can even save them up to like do a bigger one. It's got like multiple combat and targeting options. Allows for heat vision and other visible light viewing options. So yes, they're very cool sunglasses that attach to her face. Like it doesn't have like, bars like glasses do. They just stick there, kind of like donuts, or not donut saddle, Mongo saddle.
It's like Morpheus's glasses from the Matrix.
Yeah,
they kind of attach.
Except the donut doesn't even have a nose for them to sit on because her face. She's a squash faced cat, so
she's a proper laser cat now.
Nope. And Katya says none of the daughters, none of Hekla's crew have gotten any sponsor boxes yet. So
that's a bad indication of something.
Maybe. Then we get a message from L. They just cleared out stop 275 on the camel line. I guess camel is also a color. Killed one of those Krakarans. Is it just the color of a camel, you think?
Yeah, I think that's what they call like boots that are like leather, like that light brown leather is camel color.
Sure, yep. I can. When I search for camel color, some leather stuff is one of the first things that comes up. It's like somebody posted an image somewhere yesterday that was like, salmon's a color? That wasn't in our chat, was it? No. It's like a fish is like, wait, there's a color named after me? Is it like a bluish color like my beautiful scales?
No.
It's like, no.
That's what your meat
looks like. Your insides.
And then you ask the age-old question, almost like chicken and the egg. Is it called an orange because it's orange? Or is orange because it's the same color as orange?
It's a good question.
These are the real questions.
Do we not know the history of the color orange?
We have to. I'm looking.
I'm sure.
Of course we do. Of course we do.
I was just making a stupid. No.
Do you know what I'm just imagining right now? That SNL Sinead O'Connor fucking thing, but instead it's just a picture of an orange that she just rips apart. She goes, "Fight the real enemy."
Okay, so the French word for the fruit was pomme d'orange, and that's where the name for the color comes from. So I guess the fruit was first.
The fruit was foisters.
Ah, the French.
And but unfortunately, Al and Imani and their crew are now stuck because the train that they were waiting for never showed up. And Imani says, "Yeah, I think it's that Quan Chi guy. There's all the chatter in my inbox is people keep seeing him blowing up trains. He's farming the train drivers. I guess he discovered that you get lots of experience from the Mantars.
This guy just going around with his god powers, just farming XP, fucking everybody over.
And that's exactly what people would do. So if they could,
yes,
there's going to be that guy in any game.
Godlike powers.
Not thinking about what's going to happen because of him doing these things.
Oh no!
The thing I'm wondering is if he kills a train full of people on it, does he get that many skulls?
I know, right?
Yeah.
That's a good question.
He would, right?
Probably.
I want to see when they show up and see this guy. He's got like 30 fucking skulls after his name, and it'd be like, "You are a monster. You need to be stopped."
Mm-hmm.
How dare you?
And so the old folks crew is going to have to walk like 30 miles to the next station, uphill both ways. That's how they do it back in their day.
I mean, it's easy for her. I mean, she's a floating ice sweet.
Yeah, she doesn't even walk. But
yeah, she doesn't even walk.
But also the monsters, when the trains stop running, the monsters start walking up the tracks to try to get their fix. And so there's going to be monsters on the tracks as they're having to make their way that way. And then they're going to have to take a train called the Eviscerator, which is like, oh, that's probably not great either. And Carl's is like, okay, good luck, y'all. See if you can find a secret way out of that robot room. Keep me updated and stay away from the third rail. And Elle's like, oh, you know it. Kill, kill, kill. And so we learned that Donut's new skill, Love Vampire, means she can pick out a bad guy and it lets her have their heart, which means if she gets stabbed, they take the damage instead. And he's like, what, really? That's super cool. How long does it last? And she says, it lasts until they're dead, and I can do it every couple of hours. So that's really helpful. His Platinum Big Daddy box has a toothbrush and a travel-sized toothpaste, but the toothpaste gives you 3 times damage against boss monsters for 30 hours, or 4 times against province, country, or floor bosses. So hell, that's if you know you're going to fight a boss, shit, that's useful. But it's only 5 applications, so can't go around wasting it. From the cookbook, we get an entry from York, kind of talking about...
We are friends. We are family. We are one.
Apes together strong.
Yeah. It just builds into Carl's whole survivor guilt shit.
Yeah, that's fair enough summary. And then we start with chapter 16. Elf, it's like, hey, we found a secret way out of the robot room. It looks like it doesn't actually open up until the monsters start having withdrawal symptoms, though. So that's why you didn't find it before. And it seems to go down a big track, and we're gonna see where it goes. And I should note that Carl got the idea about a secret exit from the robot room because when he looked through the portal to the train yard, he saw some big things that looked like the stuff they saw in the robot room. So he's like, oh, maybe there's those things like move in and out of those rooms and come down Donut uses the spell book she got forever ago, Minion Army, because it cost 50 points. She couldn't use it before now. But Mordecai says it's a really good spell. Carl does not know how useful it will be because it takes 5 minutes to cast, and at level 1 has a cooldown of 5 hours, and has like a 2% success rate on turning bad guys to your side. So he's like, I don't see how this is useful. But
which immediately could have been useful. Because they're in a safe room.
I know.
And there's a mob right outside of it waiting for her to cast it just to get some XP. In a series of chapters where Carl wastes whole fucking hours on a train and walking up and down stairs.
Well, and I was like, I immediately thought of even like when they were on the train holding the thing against I don't remember what they were, but the evil guy that wanted to skin everybody. Like there were millions on the other side of that, and they were holding him back. And if they'd had that then, it would have been easy for her to wait her 5 minutes while they held him back. So I think we've seen ways they could have used this. So calling it useless right out the gate seemed kind of silly.
That's fair. I mean, 2 out of 100 bad guys, not going to be that big a challenge probably, but I guess it depends on what they are.
But the thing is, she needs to grind it.
Yeah, because when it gets better, it may be really cool.
Immediately there was an opportunity to grind it.
I actually hadn't put that together, but you're totally right. Right away, they're like, oh crap, there's stuff going on outside. What do we do?
And they can't touch us. I'm going to order another corn dog. Donut, start casting. Like, come on.
Oh, hold on. It says we can't use Donut's whole spell on the safe room doors.
Yeah.
There's nothing that says they couldn't have done that. I wonder if that counts, because you can't attack people in a safe room, but can you attack people outside the safe room from in the safe room? I don't know that we've seen that. Because we know what happens if you try to attack someone in a safe room. You get the naughty thing.
Yes.
But, yeah,
I mean, it's not worth testing maybe because it would freeze you if you're wrong,
Yeah, but like the first time you do it, they get froze for like a minute and a half or something, and you're like, naughty, don't do that again.
You're still safe, and there's no enemies in the safe room. And
if
also,
you do it
just
again,
be Donut.
it's bad, but yeah. But what we have is outside there are a bunch of baboons suffering from the DTs in stage 2 of 3. In stage 2, they are double strength and intelligent mobs. You lose the ability to speak and reason. And then it notes, with these guys, it doesn't really make a big difference because they're stupid. It's like you took a standard Earth baboon and crossed it with the population from a Florida jail drunk tank.
Hell yeah.
And Koch is like, by God, they look like living Botero paintings, which nobody else gets, so nobody makes a comment on it. And then I have to look up Botero paintings.
I am doing that as well.
Oh, those are
okay.
Freaking weird.
I actually already knew who this was. I just didn't know their name because I've seen many of these.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Oh,
that really changes what I think the baboon looks like. So
these are strange.
I know.
Why do they have such big foreheads?
The most famous one I know of is the one that is fucking Pablo Escobar's death.
Oh yeah, with the I see that one. Oh man. Okay. All right. I mean, we just need to be reminded. Katia was like an art history teacher. That was her job. So
yeah, she is smarter than everyone else in the team.
And it's like, oh, where did these guys come from? They must have come up the purple line. That train stopped moving. We need to get back to the nightmare before they destroy it. And so, all right, let's go and fight some bad guys. And so Katia's got her hulking form with the spikes, and Carl has his gauntlet that he's cast his Bang Bro spell on, and let's do this. And this is where we see he brings up the fact I haven't been using my Zestera because we've been in close combat on the trains, but we've got some room here now. So he's using what the system calls banger spheres, which are baseball-sized metal spheres. And he's like, I got an idea for like a spiked one, but I haven't been able to do that yet. And so, I mean, it's not really a super interesting fight. They go out there and there's a bunch of bad guys and they take them down in various ways and get to the train. And they're like, okay, let's get out of here. And then as they're on the train driving down, there's like baboons and stuff on the track. And there's like, run them over, whatever. They get to the end and he's trying to decide which portal to go through or which track to take. There's like the track switching area, which he's like, I think I could get this train onto like a variety of other tracks, but I don't know that he can tell which one he would be on at this point. That might be a very bad idea.
Yeah.
And I love that when he gets back from scouting things out, the girls are in there talking to Brandy, and Donna's like, "I'm a mother too. My boy's named Mongo." And Brandy's like, "Yeah, we don't name our kids until we present them at the altar."
I love that little bit back and forth simply because of Carl's whole "I can't let them know, they wouldn't," and then here they are, they're all friends already.
Yeah, just friendly chat.
Oh, you have a baby? Yeah, he's a dinosaur. I love him. He's my little boy.
And
Mine
then we
are
get
little coal babies.
some Katya backstory where she's like, "I was about to adopt, but then aliens destroyed my planet." And she's like, "Oh, that's too bad, honey." Like, okay.
Carl thinking that he has to be careful for like no reason. It's just like they're all fine, Carl.
And the chapter ends with Brandy being like, "We usually just go in circles all day long, trying to blow up the train. Okay, I have 2 little ones to look after." And Carl's like, "I'll do my best," and that's where we end. They're about to head through the portal to. Does he say? Yeah, it's the one that takes you back to the station. She says. So, I guess we're gonna see. That is the end of our section. We're gonna read 3 chapters again for next time. So that'll be chapter 17, 18, and 19. But until then, let's move into predictions. What do you guys think? What's gonna happen?
So I don't have a whole lot of predictions for what's going to happen immediately next, but I do have predictions for where I think this book is going and where some of the things in the book are going. So, first of all, kind of a easy guess. I do believe that Quan Chi is going to be the final boss of this book, or one of the final antagonists that we're going to have to deal with by the end of the book, because he's too big of a problem for them to ignore him. He's also in the top 10, so hey, they would fight a evil crawler, but also they get some money out of it. So that's good there, right there too. But the reason to hunt him down, I think, because they all keep getting separated from each other, I think Quan Chi, and I'm very sad about this, and I'm really sad if this happens, but this is a series where no one is safe. I think Quan Chi is going to kill L.
Oh
no!
I feel that happening. That Quan Chi is not Carl's immediate problem right now, but and the thing is that Carl is like, well, I don't have to deal with him as long as we can just avoid dealing with him. We can just deal with him later. I think Quan Chi, to get on Carl's radar even more, he would have to kill someone close to Carl.
we got to make it personal. Okay,
You got to make it personal. Like that's the writer brain kind of taking me a little bit, where I'm just like, how do you make this where? Because it feels a little bit like Batman at the beginning of Dark Knight, where Gordon's like, this guy's still a problem. He's like, one man or the entire mob. It's like one man or the entire Iron Tangle. He can wait. And it's like, nah, not after he starts killing your friends. Then it's gonna be a personal vendetta at that point. So that's a prediction that I have, because they keep wanting to all meet up and they keep making like they're going to meet up. And we've already introduced the idea that some of the people that we've met at the beginning are starting to die or have the danger of dying. And we've already set up that L is fairly powerful. So it would give Quan Chi probably a run for his money, but that guy's power leveling like a son of a bitch. So that would be a thing where it's like he's too much of a problem now, and he will become too much of a problem later for you guys to ever catch up to him. So he got to die on this floor. So that's my prediction for Quan Chi, especially since they keep name dropping him every so often. Like they keep reminding you, hey, remember this asshole? He's still an asshole, and he's becoming an even bigger asshole. So
I'm gonna go one step further with your prediction.
Go ahead.
Because I also think we're gonna fight Quan Chi. We gotta fight him. We gotta kill Superman. I think Katya is gonna kill him.
Oh,
I think out of everyone in the group, it's gonna be her that kills him, and she's gonna get the bounty reward, on the leaderboard and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And it's gonna be just another little bit of like, Kaya, it's really our money. We fought him. Because lean into Carl being a little bit of a fuck. So I think she's gonna get the kill. She's gonna get the reward, and Carl's gonna make plans with that money, and be a little upset whenever she uses her money from the kill.
Mm-hmm. Because of you, a fairly possible but alternate prediction is that he takes out Hekla's army.
Oh yeah, we haven't even seen Hekla in a minute.
Yeah, so
make it personal
imagine
for Katya.
specifically, like, hey, Katya's been kind of dragging her feet a little bit, with the. Imagine what would happen if like her entire original group is gone and now she's kind of stuck with these guys, and it's like, all right, but now she's in it. She's in the game, So that's totally possible as well. If we don't want to kill one of Carl and Donut's friends,
We
taking
kill,
out Hecla and her army. Also,
we
it
kill
would just even
Hecla's family.
it would essentially, yeah, and also the experience that he would gain from that. Like Carl would like say, like, okay, especially if he rallied everyone against Quan Chi, they were like, this guy is too much of a problem. We have to stop him before he outlevels everybody. Also, killing an entire army of people would probably put him at the top of the fucking top 10 at that point.
Yeah.
Like he'd be worth a lot. And
Well, because
obviously,
Hecla herself is like number 2, so you take her
exactly.
out, then yeah.
Yeah, and if you take out Quan Chi, like it would be hilarious if they get gypped out of that again, and like some rando gets the final hit on him and they get the money, because that's typical of what happens here. My second prediction has to do with Carl's memories. What I think is going on with Carl's memories,
Ooh.
because they seem to come in at very, very specific points. Another one that I remember was when he was starting to use the slingshot, and then he suddenly had memories of when his dad broke his slingshot, and now he was at the edge of something, and then he suddenly had memories of of being in front of a large pit. And I believe in the circus too, he had memories of being in the circus and how the smells of the circus are comforting to him. I think a lot of these memories are false memories that the game's putting in to nudge him in certain directions.
Oh,
I,
it's the
I
AI.
don't think these memories are real. I don't think any of them are real. I think the game is actively altering it to turn him into whatever character it wants him to be. And I feel like sometimes, like, oh, the circus is a safe memory for him, even though there was bad things happening. It makes him think of family, so that influenced him to do the whole worm thing. With the slingshot thing, maybe they were trying to influence him to, like, I'm going to do the slingshot out of spite. And then he started just using the slingshot all the time out of nowhere. And now he was looking at the pit, and it was just like some random memory with your mom, and you were running away from something. And I'm just like, who knows what it is, but I think these memories might be false, and it's the system trying to influence him. And it may not be real. His memories, none of them may be real. I'm not saying that Carl himself is false. I'm saying that, like, they're probably injecting or recontextualizing his memories in real time, because I'm like, if the system can actually actively decide how intelligent you are, how charismatic you are, they could implant memories too, to try to influence the kind of person that you are or the choices that you make. So that's a thing that I've been thinking about for a little bit. And when I saw that, I was just like, that is too random to just be random. And it comes up at very, very specific times for seemingly no reason. I feel like this is a subplot that he's kind of sprinkling throughout. So yeah, I don't think any of these fucking memories are real. I don't think a lot of Carl's life that he remembers is real. So
Interesting.
that's I make wide swings. That's probably the widest swing that I'm gonna make right now.
That would be
since we're
deeply
just-
fucked up. Yep.
Yeah. And my final one is, I think that the implant is doing something else to him, as well as allowing him to look through doors.
Okay.
I think the implant has something hidden in it, that he can use something in it outside of the dungeon, like when they go and they get taken on to like TV shows and stuff.
Oh.
I think the implant has something, because it says you're not allowed to use any communication devices within the dungeon, and it was like this random line, and I was just like, okay, I don't know what that means. Does that mean when they're put onto the surface again for like a show, someone can talk in his ear and talk to him outside of the system and send him messages? Because I'm like, implant feels a kind of innocuous, kind of weird, but it's designed by a different company than Boran. It exists outside of the game, kind of, and I'm like, they hide something in there. Are they trying to tell him, like, Carl, you're our agent on the inside. You got to do this shit for us and stuff. So I think he might have just been kind of half recruited into something and he didn't realize it.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
So he's the man on the inside.
Yeah, because it had that random ass line about how, outside communication devices can't work within the dungeon. And I'm just like, what does that have to do with anything? This is about looking at doors and portals. And I'm just like, was that a clue? Was that a hint? So yeah, I'm going kind of Charlie Day in front of the wall of crazy right now. But I figure taking wide swings is better at this point because I don't know what the fuck's going to happen next. I had no idea what was going to happen with the Nightmare Train. I was way off. So wide swings all around.
So we know Valte is not a fan of the Borant Corporation because they want to. It's the whole bankruptcy thing. So it would make sense if they wanted to get some sort of help against them. But what could Carl in the dungeon do?
That's my question.
Okay.
Yeah. Burn it all down.
He's already wanting to burn it down. So if they're on board with that, I can see how he would be willing to help. Yeah.
And he's already a compensated,
Anarchist.
Anarchist. And then he found the Anarchist Cookbook, and I'm just like, there might be something in it for him. And they were just like, hey, we're going to tell you how to do this. You'll be fine, but you may have to fuck over everybody else in the game. And then there's a question of what is he willing to do? You burn down the evil corporation, but that also includes everybody who's also in the fucking building at the time. So
yeah, it's different to say burn it all down when it's like burn your friends down. Like, okay, I will take
some
the
wide swings.
That's pretty good. Some pretty good swings. Some interesting story possibilities there. Yeah, I will take the moment to make my note about that scene at the Grand Canyon. And when I first read it, what I took from it was so. Carl's mom has been in a relationship with this abusive guy and runs away from him with their child to go live with her parents in Texas. The guy has come and hunted them down and is taking them back. And she's like, hey, let's stop and show Carl the Grand Canyon. He's like, what the fuck ever, just hurry up. And so they're standing on the edge of the Grand Canyon and she's holding Carl's hand so tightly. And it's like, remember that one happy time that we had together? And he's like, you're hurting me, Mom. And she's like, I know. I know. And I was like, is she thinking about just like taking both of them off of the edge of the Grand Canyon right now
shit.
To like save him from, it's like, I want Carl to have this one happy remembrance before we,
jump.
God damn.
I like that. I like that interpretation. That's a good interpretation.
That's dark and it fits within this universe. Yeah, that's a very valid way of looking at that. I didn't even think about that.
So yeah, very dark, but yeah, that's what I took from it. And so when you guys were like, I mean, what's this? This is just completely random. It doesn't really give us any information about him. I'm like, I felt like it was kind of, if I was right, like it's kind of a deep look at some stuff here, but maybe I'm not. So, Jennifer was next.
Yeah.
What kind of predictions do you have?
Oh, geez. I really don't know. I didn't think this deeply. I like his. Can we just use his?
I'm just gonna steal all of Mike's. Same thing.
If anything, you can add on to any of them if you like. Go right ahead.
Mike had it down. No, I will say my thoughts were on the same line with our final battle here. I do think that's where this is heading. I think that's kind of why we're like, he's getting people stuck places. People aren't going to be able to get out of this dungeon because of him. So it's obvious that at some point in time, there's going to have to be a battle there. I hadn't thought through somebody dying because I don't want anybody to die. But yeah, no, I think it makes sense. That makes sense as to why Carl would be willing to like go that way. So I can definitely see that happening, even though I didn't think of it, obviously. But I prefer it to be somebody else who dies, though, because I love it. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Writer brain and me, whenever I'm watching something, I'll be like, who would be the saddest death at this moment in the what would get the plot moving very, very quickly right now if someone died?
Yeah,
and
that would be the
plenty
one.
of readers that think the same way, and because that would get us, the audience, to want Quan Chi to die.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't want El to die. I love El.
Yeah, but Quan Chi needs to die too. Well, not El doesn't need. You know what I meant. So yeah, no.
On the plus side, if they're right about Hekla being the one, it's like, well, we know Hekla is tough, but we don't have any strong connection to her, so she might be a good character to like. The term would be Worf, to show how badass someone is by taking out a character we already know is badass.
Yeah.
I would be okay with that because she's already a problem. We could eliminate that problem. We don't have to worry about it.
That would be kind of undercutting it, though,
Yeah.
right? Because, like you're pointing out, she's already a problem for Carl. If somebody else takes care of the problem, it's like, well, then why did we make it a problem?
Yeah, I feel like it can't possibly be her just because there is so much that she still needs to resolve. Like, we know she wants Donut, and that's going to have to come to a head at some point in time. And if we just got rid of her in this book, we'd never see that. And I think that would be a missed opportunity. So,
Be a waste.
yeah.
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 So,
Yeah. That's why Elle makes sense.
Yeah.
Even if I don't want
What point is she other than we like her?
Right.
Yeah, it hits closer to home at that point.
Sad. But no, yeah. I'm with it. I think there's some good possibilities there. I think that I think that something's going to happen with Katia for sure. I think she's getting closer and closer to finally like taking a step in the direction of being more dangerous than she is. I think we've kind of been building up this book for her to become more of a threat and maybe get on that top 20 list or 10 list, whatever. And that would be a good way for that to happen. So I kind of agree with Mike there. I think if she was able to do something like that, it would be a big step in the right direction for her that needs to happen if she's going to stick around in another book, because she's still behind. Floor-wise, if she was on her own, she'd probably die. So I think that would be a good opportunity for her moving forward, and she needs an opportunity to level up some more and kind of come into her own. So I think that would be a good way to do it. So I'm going to get behind that. I'm going to say, that could be a good possibility of what may happen. Otherwise, I think Carl is going to come across and find a way to get everybody to where they need to go to get off this floor that's in this giant chat. Because we already kind of saw in these chapters where he was like, I can't keep worrying about trying to keep all these people safe, but at the same time, I'm going to give them all the information. So I think, even though I think he wants to go and save everybody, he's got that complex going on, right? I think he'll find a way that gives everybody the information they need to get off and save as many people as possible. I don't know what that way is yet, but I think that'll happen. And that's about all I got right now.
Okay. Do you have any thought, like, how, I like what you're saying about Katia, and she's approaching being this more dangerous character. How do we get her over like that? Like, what does she change or do to become like more dangerous?
I think she feels more like she's part of the group. She has to like join this group and be in, like, willingly participating in the things they're doing. I think right now she's kind of held back. She's here because she feels like she has to be here, but I don't feel like she's really part of the team in the way that she necessarily wants to be there. She's really just participating because Helga told her to. And this is what she was told she needed to do to move forward. So I think for her to really get more powerful, she has to accept kind of who she is and where she is. And that way the opportunity will come up where she can participate more, or maybe be protecting Donut or Carl in a way that she hasn't necessarily done before because she isn't willing to really step up there.
So
I
just
feel
like
a
the
crash
commitment.
out coming.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like there's going to be a moment where she actually like asserts herself and just says, "Look, I'm going to be part of this team, but you need to start treating me like an equal and stop treating me like a resource, and fucking regard me as like as an actual human being who is trying to do
with
this
agency and things."
Yes.
Yeah. So I feel a crash
too.
out of her telling them like, you guys need to kind of fuck off and stop treating me like this, or I'm gonna just fucking leave. And also, I know that I'm powerful. I'm asking for help, not to be used. So
Agree.
And I feel that coming. It feels like we've gotten a little bit of a prelude to that with Carl and Donut having a discussion about it. It's like, oh, great, you guys are having this discussion. Why don't you guys have this discussion with Katia?
Yeah, let her in on the discussion about her. Yeah,
exactly. So that's why I feel a crash out coming.
That's fair.
It's like, oh, we talked about treating her better, but we didn't actually talk to her. Oh, I could see how that's bad.
Were we supposed to do that?
Oh no, we totally forgot to actually treat her like a person. Oh, my bad.
Well, this was a good combo. Mike had some big swings, and then Jennifer had some more specific character predictions that she came up with. So, Tim, what do you got?
I don't know how to save any of my ideas for the end of an episode. I just blurt them out when I remember. But I do think there is another way into the first like stops of the tracks. I
Right.
think there's probably a maintenance tunnel that connects all of the
Oh.
tracks and all of the stations, because I think the big hint at that is when the skinless fucking monsters showed up outside of the safe zone. They came from somewhere. They probably didn't come
Ooh.
through, I think they came through like a maintenance tunnel. They
A
needed
service tunnel, yeah.
a way for these guys to go to these areas and fix shit as, people break them.
That's a good one.
So I think all the stranded people, thanks to Carl's little eyesight to see portals and shit, I think he's going to find the service tunnel, and it's going to be like the back rooms or some bullshit.
He's gonna
And
smuggle them all out.
you can get them all to, the way to get downstairs. He's going to save everyone. And we're going to get a Dr. Dance's, just this one level, everyone lives.
That is exactly when you said save everyone. I was like, one time,
Uh-huh.
everyone lives. Yeah, okay.
I think Tim's exactly right, because I feel like they hinted that heavily with the
They did.
auxiliary tunnel. Yeah, the
And
auxiliary
then
tunnel looks
again
like
with
a
the
nexus.
monsters popping up, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
and I feel like Volte gave you this enhancement for this purpose, my man.
Specifically to be like,
there's a hidden
hey,
portal that can save everybody and get them all to the front.
oh, I love it. Oh, I love it.
That would be great.
God damn, I think you hit it right on the head there. Yeah.
I didn't even think about that there would be another way that they could have gotten to that platform. That makes a lot of sense.
Especially since Carl listed off the 4 somewhat ways that he's figured out how to get out, and then like there's just one thing that he hasn't thought about, and that's like there's gotta be some sort of service tunnel
Where all the workers get
connects
around.
everything. Yeah, because we never see any of them. Yeah.
Nope. We haven't seen any workers. Yeah, how are they moving? This is an excellent point.
These fucking hobgoblins that are supposedly clearing tracks, like we haven't seen one of them. Like,
if
God.
they exist at all, and are last time you guys were thinking like maybe they're not. There's not even really any of this repair
they
shit happening.
cheaped out. They were like, "Oh yeah, we got teams on the way." We literally have no one.
we no spared no expense except for maintenance.
Look, we're building literally infinite trains. We didn't have any material left over to make hobgoblin crews.
Talk about the governor sending more trains.
Yeah, right.
Jeez. Okay, yeah, I love this. Tim is thinking about how do we get the hell out of here, and he's come up with the idea. So, okay, fair enough. Let's move into. We actually don't have any emails this week again, so if anyone wants to send us anything, the address is dgmj@mail.com. Send us your comments, questions, concerns, hatred, whatever. You can send it all to that email address, and if it's interesting, we'll read it on the show. If you want to leave us a 5-star review on the podcast platform of your choice, send a screenshot of that to that same email address, and Mike will award you an achievement for your trouble.
If it's any more of an incentive, just know that every time that I hear that we have an email, I get a mini panic attack. So if that is something that you would like to do, then go ahead and do it, asshole.
I'm sending an email right now.
I'm sending it right away.
So yeah, that's I think that's everything. Remember, for next time, we're going to do 3 more chapters, 17, 18, and 19. So if you're following along, read those chapters, or you won't have any idea what we're talking about. Beyond that, we appreciate everyone out there listening. We will see you in another couple of weeks. And once again, Mordecai's gone. I have no Mordecai wisdom of the week, but Mike can come up with some wisdom. What do you got?
When you're at the edge of a precipice, looking into the abyss does look back, and it's actually a bunch of giant lizard monsters. So stay away from the abyss. Don't look in there. Look away from the abyss.
If you like giant lizard monsters, then you do you. But
if you don't have any smoke bombs that you can make to get away from the lizard monsters, store-bought is fine.
Yeah. They're almost as good. It's fine. All right. Good luck out there, crawlers.
Kill, kill, kill.